So what do you see as the value as taking a sustainable approach throughout the supply chain?
First of all, it was an opportunity for myself to add an influence into the benefits that we were going to derive from the supply chain in our company. And secondly, the internal benefit was that it was going to put procurement at the forefront of business management.
What are the sort of key barriers and challenges that you've had in getting the sustainable teams on board with the idea of sustainability and procurement?
In my organisation, especially sustainability was up there alongside health and safety. There's this conflict between does sustainability cost or does it add value? And I think what we've been doing and successfully been able to do is actually demystify that conversation for our business with regards to where sustainability isn't just about doing the right thing, it also actually adds value to the bottom line of the company. And we've got tangible benefits now.
Can you expand on those areas?
Yeah, if somebody ever walked past a construction site at night, any time in the winter from 4 o'clock onwards, it's lit up like a Christmas tree. But why would you have lighting on every floor of a building when actually there's no one there? We actually achieved a 43% reduction in carbon just looking at where our lights were on our sites. The people that were leaving those lights on, those task lights, were our supply chain. So our conversation went back to them.
I must admit, in preparation for today, when starting to put together the business case, some of the steps that you take are so obvious. Because I know there are a lot of cases that are put together that look absolutely fantastic on paper. You get the support of the board, you put the initiative in, and then you fail to monitor it, you fail to measure it, and you fail to report on it, and you have no real robust way of validating what you're claiming. For me, what I've seen within Tesco's over the last 5 years is a change in terms of, okay, it looks great on paper, we've got confidence in the initiative, let's roll out the initiative, but let's make sure we've got the right processes in place to monitor, to measure, and to report back to the business to really validate what we said in the first place. And once you do that, you get the credibility, you get the support from the rest of the business, that when you come next with your initiative and you say it's going to do this, that you've already got that kind of credibility within that boardroom.
So we started to have conversations with our supply chain then around reduction of waste. The skip costs, I don't know, 150, 180 pounds to hire. But actually there's £1,500 worth of material in there. We tried to then educate the supply chain that actually this is your profitability as well as our profitability.
Have you seen when sort of taking a more sustainable approach, encouraging sustainability with the suppliers and actually getting their buy-in has actually inspired them to create more innovative approaches to their work for you?
There is always a danger, I think, within a procurement function or a very large organisation that you think you know best. Guess what? The suppliers are there for a reason. They're experts in what they do. And if you can basically merge that with the quality of people you have in your organisation, the ability to be open-minded and not have any kind of preconceptions that it's going to fail at the beginning, that you work with an open mind, that you share the objective, that you share the challenge. You've got to incentivise that level of innovation, and you've got to reward the success, celebrate the success, but also you've got to communicate the success.
Have you got any actual hands-on examples or case studies of where that's happened with any of your suppliers, and that there's actually been some, hopefully some positive outcomes?
We were sourcing some stone in China. We did an ethical audit on the stone company and found actually that there was bonded labour. But we worked with the local agents to ensure that we actually did away with the bonded labour regime and that everybody had PPE for a start, personal protective equipment. So by going the extra mile and doing that ethical audit, it exposed us not only to reputational risk, but also it gave us the ability to actually leave something positive behind.
What I've seen happen more recently is businesses become far more aware that they need to make their employees aware of the big picture.
Is it still business as usual, or is it actually better business?
It's better business because simply the fact that people are more aware and have a more of an understanding and are quite happy to engage with their supply base and engage with their internal colleagues.
Right.
You've got someone coming in and starting challenging you for, well, why are you using that component? Why are you using that material? Why do you buy it from that supplier? You're starting to make people really ask themselves the question, actually, yeah, why am I doing that?
Looking at how do you actually deal with your tier 2, 3, 4 supply chain, have visibility of what they're working on? Is that something that you put onto your tier 1 suppliers?
We make sure that every one of our tier 1 suppliers has their own supply chain management processes. So if they say that they now operate a PQQ system, a qualification questionnaire, we even now view theirs as to what is in them and what's not. We only want to work with clients and supply chain that have got exactly the same aspirations and drivers and values that we hold dear.
I think where you have those suppliers that don't necessarily tick all the boxes, but you can see that they have the passion and the drive and the desire to be everything that you want them to be. What I've seen as well is that organisations such as Tesco's are able to basically say, we can help you on that journey, we can help educate you, we can help train you, and to basically bridge that gap to get you to where you need to be.
To summarise, I think it seems like actually you don't have to reinvent the wheel with sustainability. Perhaps some of those things we've been doing for a number of years, but that open two-way communication both within your own organisation and out externally to your supply chain can really be a win-win for both sides. And I think we've actually heard some really tangible cost-saving, return on investment case studies there, which I hope has been valuable for our listeners.